My name is Frida Södermark, and I love asphalt. It's a weird fetish, I know, but asphalt lies on roads. And those roads have taken me to places I didn't know I would reach. For example, they brought me here to stand in front of you. What I do on those roads is to run very far. But I have not always been a runner. 8 years ago, I ran my first 10Ks. And last year, I was selected to represent Sweden in the World Championship for distances over 100 kilometers. But this talk is not only about me. It's about you, what you can achieve if taking the chances given. But first, I will start telling you my story. My story that became löparäventyret, the running adventure. I'm an ordinary girl from a small village in Sweden, but I have always been full of energy. When I was little, I tried out many sports, but ended up as a scout. At the university, when I was studying becoming a teacher, I was actually running, but from pub to pub. And 8 years ago, I was supposed to run with the colleagues at the school where I was teaching. And I thought, well, it's maybe a good idea to try out the 10Ks before competing with a number on my chest. So I went to the forest and I ran. And when I came back to the bike racks, I met two guys, two nerds in tights. And they asked me which club I was running for. And I didn't really know what they mean, because I thought that running clubs were only for elite runners. But I joined them, and it was fun. And I met many new friends, and they were talking about running the marathon. When I hear about new things, I want to try them out for sure. And so I did. After 8 months, I participated in my first marathon, and I even did a good result. And that motivated me keeping on training. And 2010, I could even call me an elite runner. And standing here in front of you saying I'm an elite runner, it still feels a bit strange. 2011, I took some time off from work and moved down to Berlin. I went there with 2 suitcases filled with clothes, but I didn't have anywhere to stay or anywhere to work. But soon I found an apartment with 6 people, 10 years younger than me, and I slept on a mattress for 7 months. And my new friends, they showed me art and other things I didn't know before. And of course, I was running. I was running around the city, and I also worked half-time in a home for young mothers that couldn't take care of their infants. One weekend, we decided to go to Leipzig. We took our bikes with us, and we rented kayaks. We climbed into old, abandoned industrial buildings and took pictures. We ate, we drank, we explored. And this weekend, Leipzig Marathon was held. I ran, I won, and I even did my personal best. Some weeks before, one of Sweden's best marathon runners called me. He said that I should come home to Sweden and try to run 100 kilometers on a track in the national championship. And I didn't even know that people ran that far. And I thought, that's something crazy people can spend their time on doing. I wanted to be good at marathons. But his words, I couldn't really get his words out of my mind. And the year after, 2012, I thought, maybe I should try it out. And if I was going to try it, then it could be in the national championship. And that year, it was held in a small village in the north of Sweden, pretty close to our summer house. And I went up there and made Mom happy, spending a week together with her. And I also brought a friend. And at the racing day, we went to that village, and the first thing I saw was the sign, 99 kilometers left. Very inspiring. So we put up our tent and chilled for some hours, and then 10 o'clock in the evening, it was so far. You know, in Sweden, it doesn't get dark during summertime, summer nights. And it was chilly, a bit rainy, and I didn't know what to expect. With 15 kilometers to go, I realized I was going to win. And the feeling when I crossed that finish line was sadness. Because I didn't want to run the 100 kilometers one more time. I wanted to be good at marathons. But the feeling soon turned into joy, and now I have been running a couple. And last year, in November, I was in Qatar, representing Sweden in the World Championship in 100 kilometers. Sometimes you don't know where life will take you, but that can turn out becoming a really good thing. So, can just anyone put on a pair of shoes and become an elite runner? I don't know, but I know what brought me here. And there are things that everyone can use, runners or not. First, I got the right focus, as in Leipzig. I always make sure that there will be an adventure connected to the competition. Because even if I fail, I know I will get my payback. Last year, I went to Israel, running a Jerusalem marathon together with a friend. And we also planned to hitchhike around the Dead Sea afterwards. I didn't do my best run, but 2 hours after, I was sitting in a car direction the border of Egypt. And that way of making it makes me relax. But when I'm standing at a starting line, I'm always 100% focused, and sometimes even more. Equilibrium in life is also very important for me. I want to live life, and I don't want to skip other things that I like, except running. I want to drink, I want to eat, I want to go to parties. I love art, I read many books, I go to exhibitions, I go to concerts, and I want to see my family and friends. My solution is to run where I want to go. Last weekend, my sister's little daughter had celebrated her first birthday. I ran around the nearby lake, and after 45 kilometers, I sat at the table eating cake. And 2 weeks ago, I was going to hold a speech in the neighbor city. I put a sandwich in my bag, I ran the 44 kilometers, I did my job, and I took the train back. Running also gives me the time to think. 1.5 years ago, my dad died, and 2 weeks after, I was running 320 kilometers between Vienna and Budapest. And talking about those long runs reminds me on when I was running 24 hours on a track in a tunnel in Oslo. A crazy thing to do, and without knowing it, I had put up 2 Swedish records. Sometimes I do things when I run. For example, this week, I've been holding this speech over and over and over again during my training. And to the people back home, I'm not suffering under schizophrenia, running around in the city talking English loud to myself. I also got 2 superpowers, recovery and the frontal bone. I can go clubbing the whole night after ultramarathon. And my frontal bone doesn't allow me to stop when my body got the cramps from hell. And I have been running 82 kilometers and 7 to go in the world greatest ultramarathon. And I am in position 5. That's the point when you learn how to pee without stopping. and your emotions are like a roller coaster. The last thing is maybe the most important, to have fun. For me, it can be fun running 5 o'clock in the morning in the outskirts of Norrköping. And it's real fun to run with friends, to exciting places and in interesting countries. As you understand, it takes much time to become an ultra runner. Some weeks I train 230 kilometers. This week, only 210. 2 years ago, I quit work. I thought things will get sorted, because I have always been a survivor. Substituting in school and also at the prison, because I thought it was an interesting task to try, gave me the possibility and time to plan my own time, to travel, for training, and start my own company. 3 weeks ago, I went all in. And now I'm relying on my own business, trying to inspire people to find their thing, and they're trying it out. And my adventure keeps on every day in Sweden and all over the world. Because if you're open-minded, you will be a part of so much. During my travels, I have, for example, been invited to a wedding in Jordan, been close to gunfire in Palestine, and been running together with top athletes in Kenya. A couple of weeks ago, I was hitchhiking through Georgia and Armenia. I knew I was going to run 180 kilometers a week. And I did, even if the conditions sometimes were bad. 2 meters of snow in the Caucasus Mountains. And another day, with 4 shots of vodka in my body, after I had been invited by some guys celebrating the dead mom at a cemetery. I have been running 2 times around the world, and I will make sure that the third one will be even more exciting. You can run everywhere, but the fact that I am collecting countries doesn't mean I don't like home. This is actually my hometown. This is Berlin. There are so many great adventures nearby. You just need to put on a pair of shoes and go out exploring. I think that everyone is good at something. But that doesn't mean everyone should quit work and start running 100 kilometers. But still I think almost everyone can run, but that's another talk. You should take the time thinking of what you want to spend your time on. Something that gives you energy, because if you got the energy, you will be a better person for yourself and for the people around you, back home or at work. It can be something that you already like to do, or something that you want to try out. And if nothing crosses your mind, ask a friend, because something they know you better at that point. So where do you find the time to do your thing? For me, mornings are a relative concept. It depends on when you go to bed. Or do something on the way to work. Do something at lunchtime. Or if you have kids, cooperate with other parents. 4 times out of 5, you can do something with your friends. And the 5th, you're in charge of a small kindergarten for a few hours. Learn a language, read a book, go to the opera, paint, cook, or simply go for a run. And have goals, but don't set them too high, or skip other things that you like. You can also set them up together with friends. And make sure that you will reward yourself. Book a trip, go to the movies, or cook a good meal. You're in charge of your own life. Use that position. And everything that you do is a step in the right direction and will make difference. Because even a small step is a step. And I'm so happy that I can stand here and tell you that I'm living the dream, my dream. And the question is, which is yours? And I know that nothing is impossible. Thank you.